Tibetan opera is known as the living fossil of Tibetan culture. The masks in Tibetan opera are not only important props during performance, but also an indispensable element of Tibetan opera. The craftsmanship involved in making these masks is very intricate, usually handcrafted by specialized artisans. Mozhugongka is the hometown of Xizang Ganbu. It still carries on the ancient tradition of making Tibetan opera masks. The meaning of Mozhugongka is a white area in the middle where the blue dragon king resides in the color of black bamboo. This place, rich in natural resources and with a long history and culture, is one of the important birthplaces of Tibetan culture. Drive northeast from the country town about 10 kilometers. Nestled among the mountains is a small village. Jiacuo, the fifth generation inheritor of the traditional costume making skills of the Dupligne family, an intangible cultural heritage inheritor in Lhasa, whom we are looking for, lives here.
老苦路上的干将嘛，把拉不上种的讲讲。
这全手工，没有任何机械操作。
No mechanical operation. This one is tied around the waist, and this one is tied around the head. The Jiacuo family has been making Tibetan opera masks and costumes for generations. Jiacuo, who is 64 years old this year, learned the craft from his father at a very young age, and he has been in this line of work for over 50 years. In Jiacuo's heart, his father has always been a master, and the masks are like a selling, a presence he has always aspired to reach the level of his ancestors, like his father. In the living room on the second floor of Jiacuo's home, the walls are covered with various Tibetan opera masks, each of which is a testament to the memories of the family tailors. Some for men and some for women. The tailoring skills of the Dupligne family originated around the 50-60 AD, and over the 460 years of the inheritance, their swelling techniques and craftsmanship have stood out among many folk tailoring skills. Having practiced the craft for almost a lifetime, Jiacuo has become a benchmark for making those masks in the local area. Every aesthetic handicraft product he produces, whether it's clothing, masks, or Tibetan hats and boots, is very exquisite and highly popular locally. Jiacuo, who grew up surrounded by it, not only inherited his father's craftsmanship, but also the tradition of being charitable. He always does his best to help his fellow villagers by donating clothes to bring warmth to them. In Tibetan areas, many events feature Tibetan opera performance that require masks and costumes. These items carry hundreds of history and culture. And Any slight mistake in detail will be seen as a joke in the Tibetan community. It's necessary to find trustworthy individuals to create them. And everyone will instinctively seek out scale tellers like Jiacuo for costume-made outfits in the dance. Approaching the Tibetan New Year, all the tasks for the year have long been completed. But Jiacuo enthusiastically took out the materials and tools for making masks to us, personally demonstrating the process of making those masks to us. First is cutting, using a paper pattern made of Tibetan paper to cut out the outline of the masks from flower pattern brocade and dark blue velvet. Next is the most important carving of the knives of the eyes and mouth. Look at the shape of this knife. It's curved. If you cut it this way, it's the opposite. You can cut it down like this, and the knife should not be come out during the process. This carving knife in his hand moves up, down, left, right, inward and outward with subtle changes, like casting a spell. He quickly and smoothly outlines the expressive eyes with perfect arcs. Put the top piece underneath, then glue it, and put this on top. Finally, it's sticking and swelling, with the most difficult part being the swelling. The correct way to swell is to switch the index finger with middle finger when swelling. This is the right way. The ancestor method usually used the index finger, which was not quite correct. So this can also be considered process and innovation in tangible cultural heritage techniques. The difficulty in swelling lies in wrapping the wooden board, where the stitches should not be visible from the surface. Seamless and integrated. Even a slight mistake in Jiacuo's work affects not only the effectiveness but also the reputation. In the constant chiseling and grinding throughout the year, a state of unity between the self and the object is tempered. Striving for perfection in the mask not only embodies extraordinary attention and determination, but also resembles a form of self-reflection. In order to further inherit and promote the handmade skills passed down by ancestors, Jiacuo established the Duplain family Tailoring Skills Limited Company earlier, breaking the family tradition, widely accepted appearances, devoting all efforts to the inheritance of the art of Tibetan opera mask making. Build a west-facing room with a larger area, and position the door in that direction. Then, learn a craft inside. Recurrent, diligent, and talented young individuals, selected from the family and village, to work in the company, and selflessly impact the tailoring skills to them. But it's very difficult to record disciplines. Only few apprentices are willing to endure a lot of hardship and take the time to calm down. If you push it all the way in with the curved part, it will tight. Luosang is Jiacuo's parenting. He has been learning craftsmanship from Jiacuo for more than 10 years. When he first arrived, he couldn't even thread the needle properly. Now, he can basically independently complete the production of Tibetan hats, boots, and other crafts. Continuing the crafting skills that have been passed down for over 460 years, leading fellow villagers to prosperity is Jiacuo's dream. Although there may be many difficulties at times, in Jiacuo's heart, some things, no matter how bitter and tough, must be done. Jiacuo's hope that his family's small factory will be built in his small country yard soon. As the old saying goes, sail against the wind and waves, and you will reach the other shore. Seeing Jiacuo's clear and shining eyes, we believe that his dream will soon come true.